Hello children, we have been studying about chapter number 6, that is lines and angles of standard 9. We have studied about a lot regarding angles. Now we are into the lines which are parallel lines and transversal. We have studied about all the theorems and we started using it. Let's proceed with the thing. We are going to discuss more examples regarding them. Here we have the given figure. In this figure, we are told that PQ and ST are parallel to each other. Moreover, measure of two angles are given to us. One is PQR, that is 110, and the other one is RST, that is 130 degrees. For us, we are supposed to find out angle QRS. Here we are going to do some construction. This construction is nowhere told in the question. These are the things which we have to do on our own. That is why we call it construction. Let us see what the construction is. It is a line UV. Here there is a speciality of this line UV. It is taken to be either parallel to PQ or parallel to ST. Now that is the figure. Our construction tells us that here the line is parallel to ST, that is UV parallel to ST. We always make the given construction as a line which is parallel to only one of the given lines. Now let us focus on angle TSR and SRV. We are told that, or rather we have constructed UV to be parallel to ST. In that case, these two angles are co-interior angles. So their sum is 180 degrees. That means they are supplementary. This is nothing but the co-interior angle theorem. Out of these two angles, angle S, that is angle TSR, is known to us. So we can easily find out the value of angle SRV, which comes out to be 50 degrees. Now we have constructed UV parallel to ST. In the given question, ST is parallel to PQ. In short, all the three lines are parallel to each other. Once the lines are parallel to each other, we can say that angle PQR and angle QRU to be supplementary because they are also co-interior angles. So let's proceed with the thing. ST parallel to PQ, which is already given in the question, and by construction ST is parallel to UV, so all the three lines are basically parallel to each other. So we are now considering UV to be parallel to PQ, and that is why we have considered the co-interior angle theorem, and this is how we are going to find out the value of angle QRU, which comes out to be equal to 70 degree. Now we already know about the angle QRU and SRV. So we have to just find out angle QRS. We know that all the three angles which are first, second and third angle, they all add up to 180 degrees because they are angle made by a straight line UV. Out of these, two angles are known to us. So after substituting the values, we will get the value of angle QRS. In this case, it comes out to be 60 degree. Next, the given figure. Here, AB is told to be parallel to CD, or rather SD. There is a correction here. It should be SD. Angle APQ is given to be 50 degrees and PRD is told to be 127 degrees. We have to just find out the measure of X and Y. Now if you look at the two parallel lines, we find that angle APQ and PQR, they are alternate interior angles. As the lines are parallel, alternate interior angles will be equal. So we conclude that X is equal to 50 degree. This is by using alternate interior angle theorem. Next, if we talk about PR as the transversal, in that case angle APR and angle PRD, they also will be alternate interior angles. So their sum is also equal to be, they are equal. So we can say that 50 plus y will be equal to 127, and with this we will get the value of y. Y comes out to be 77 degrees. Now the next question, this is regarding two mirrors which are placed parallel to each other, facing each other also. So you have two mirrors PQ and RS which are facing each other and they are parallel also to each other. There is this AB which is the incident ray. So AB is the incident ray, falls on the mirror PQ and gets reflected as BC. Then BC becomes incident ray, it becomes incident ray on RS and gets reflected as CD. This is how the measures or lengths or the rays are. Let me read the statement. An incident ray AB strikes the mirror PQ at B. The reflected ray moves along the path BC and strikes the mirror RS at C and again gets reflected back along CD. Prove that AB is parallel to CD. The first incident ray, that is AB, and the last reflected ray, that is CD. We have to prove them to be parallel. Now, as there are two mirrors, we are going to use all the concept of mirror and reflection, angle of reflection, incident ray, everything regarding mirrors. Now, if PQ is the mirror and AB is the incident ray which falls at B, the given line is the normal. The one which is made now is the normal. A normal is a perpendicular at the point of incidence. This is named as BN. So BN is perpendicular at B to PQ. Similarly, we have one more normal CM at C. With this, we have now angle of incidence, the very first one, that is I1, and then R1, that is the first angle of reflection. Using the mirror concept, we already know that the angle of incidence and angle of reflection are always equal. Let us find out, or rather name, the rest of the angles also. So here we have the second incidence angle or the second angle of incidence, which is I2, and second angle of reflection is now represented as R2. Here I2 and R2 also will be equal. So let us Write the construction that we have already done. They are the normals at B and C. Now, BN will be parallel to CM. This happens because they both are perpendicular to parallel lines. PQ and RS are parallel and these two are perpendicular to it, so they also have to be parallel to each other. So BN and CM are parallel to each other. Now, as we have done earlier, we already know that I1 equal to R1 and I2 equal to R2. But moreover, we can say that R1 is equal to I1. This happens because BN and CM are parallel to each other and BC is the transversal. Here R1 and I2 are alternate interior angles, and by the theorem, alternate angles theorem, we can say that R1 equal to I2. So let's proceed with the mirror formula. Here it is for a mirror, angle of reflection and angle of incidence are equal. So I1 equal to R1 and I2 equal to R2. Here we can say that I1 plus R1, they are equal. So they can be written as 2 times R1 because both are equal. Similarly, I2, R2 are equal. So I can write their sum to be equal to twice I2. But R1, I2 are equal. So twice of it are also equal. So we can say that 2 times R1 equal to 2 times I2. So we conclude that ABC, that is angle ABC equal to angle BCD. Now, if we think of angle ABC and angle BCD, and we are told that they are equal, so we can conclude that AB and CD are parallel to each other with BC as the transversal. This happens because the alternate interior angles are proven to be equal and we have used the converse of the alternate interior angles theorem. With this, we come to the end of this video. We have lots of things to solve ahead. So we'll be meeting once again in the next video. Thank you till then.